Good afternoon. Late afternoon for me. I'm so glad that you've joined us yet again. Can we hear me? It's the sound of the ocean is not deafening behind me. I get thumbs up. Thank you, Marina. Thank you so much. Especially today, I'd like to thank, as I should every time, the Worldview production team who goes through great lengths to continually broadcast these meetings. And when we do these recordings in Kyoto, they have to do double time and extra work, and we are extra grateful for their extraordinary efforts. Tim, I believe you are standing by somewhere. Is that true? I can vamp for a minute. And Marina says yes, but nothing's really going to prove it except for Tim talking. In the meantime, uh, I'm just, like I said, I'm honored that you're here. Thank you, live translators. It's an extraordinary thing that you do. I can't imagine. Oh, the homework is in the video, you say. So does that mean, Gina, maybe that Tim is just waiting to pop in at the end and give a discussion? Is that what we're guessing? Tim was there for the homework. He doesn't need to be quizzed on the homework again. Well, fine. I guess the thing to do is to start with the video. We'll be here together throughout the video. Feel free and encouraged to uh, speak in the chat. We can still talk back and forth. I'm going to be watching the video live. I get the impression Utpala is going to be doing the same. Um, Utpala, are you going to be giving us live chat updates also? Yes, she is. Well, this is going to be a as robust an experience as you can have while watching a video together. I look forward to the time. Let's do it, and then we'll get together in the end and have a discussion live with Tim. Uh, let's all enjoy each other in the chat while we watch together. Please, Worldview production team, take it away. Take it away.
All right. Should I pause for translation? Okay. When you first start the Geshe course, you have, so total Geshe course 25 years. The first 12 years is Boro Boro Mido, and it comes from 1,700 years ago. And it was spoken by Maitreya, Lord Maitreya. And it was written down by Asanga. And it's called the Jewel of Realizations. And when we study it, we memorize the root text. It's 75 pages. It takes 45 minutes to recite. And I memorized it. And there's a joke in the monastery. I forgot more books than you ever read. Never, anyway. Also, the commentary was written 500 years ago. And it is 8 books. And those 8 books about it's about 15,000 pages in English. 15,000 pages. So Tim is going to translate it.
In this lifetime.
It will take about... so anyway, we'll see. And do you want to go ahead and so each class we start with a homework from last class. So Tim will have a homework, and then we'll start his class. Okay. Then we take a break, short break. 15 minutes for PP, and then Xiaoping will have her class. Okay. She's been working on one book for 8 years, almost finished. Okay. Started a new one. All right.
All right.
Go ahead, Tim.
All right. So this book is in debate format. So what happens is we start a debate. Somebody comes up and says something that's a little bit wrong, and then we need to figure out what's wrong about it. All right. So this homework is about the last debate that we had. So
yeah, go big pauses in your. Yeah.
Our opponent, the person who starts the debate, continues trying to define what the definition of the speech of the Buddha is. That person makes the claim that if something is a speech of a Buddha, it must also be in the mind of the Buddha, in the mind stream of the Buddha. So just as a review, what is the primary counter to this argument?
So, I'll say it. If the Buddha taught something, what is Buddha's teaching? And we say it's the word of the Buddha. Then we say, is it in his mind? Does it have to be in his mind? What do you guys think? The word of the Buddha, does it have to be in the Buddha's mind? What do you guys think?
Stanley shaked his head over there. Not necessarily. And what's the counter to that? It could be in a book. Right, but that's not the counter that we use, though. Does that person have to be a Buddha too? No, right. Okay. So the counter to it is that you heard the Buddha teaching. I've heard the Buddha teaching. I'm not a Buddha. But it's in my mind. So that's the counter that we use. All right. So that's the first one. You can read that later. So then after we do that, we're like, well, we have one more other idea. Okay. There's another example that we're using. And we say, what about the 10 great activities of practice that's in a student's mind? The student's practicing, but they're not yet a Buddha. But they're working on becoming a Buddha. So the question is, if anyone remembers, what were the 10 great activities as presented by Lord Maitreya?
Yeah, if you want to be a Buddhist, there are 10 activities, 10 things to do. And who taught that? It's Maitreya. Maitreya is the next Buddha, Buddha number 4. Shakyamuni, Buddha number 3. So Maitreya didn't come yet. He's still waiting to come here. He's going to come very soon. Okay? We are lucky. He's coming very, very soon. And so he said, there's 10 things I want you to do. And we studied it already. So that's the homework.
Yes. So Ivan, are any of the other translators online, are they able to talk? Or do we need something special to happen? Like if you turned on that. So the people that are on the Zoom call, are they able to talk? And yeah, if we would hear them in the room, can we do that or no?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so can we do that right now?
But who?
Oh, you have to tell who. Okay, all right, well, that's gonna be too complicated. All right, so what are the 10 great activities?
You teach us.
I will teach you, okay.
Okay.
I don't remember what they are, they're in my answer key. Here they are, okay. All right. Oh, okay. So the first one is writing, but not writing in the sense of just writing anything. It's about copying the ancient texts. Then you make offerings. This will take a long time to teach it. You give. You're generous with things. You listen to teachings. You read them. you practice them, you explain them, you also recite them out loud. Sometimes, for example, what Geshe Michael said is maybe you recite the Abhisamaya Alankara out loud. You think about them and then you meditate about them. And that's a general teaching. There's some nuances to those.
Okay.
So the book, do you guys remember the book name? It's named after one of our German students. I mean, the German student's named after one of the books.
Stanley's like, what?
What? Nope, not Sunam. Not Gelse. German. Uta. Okay. It's in the book called Uta Namche.
Namche.
Separating the extremes from the... Is that a good translation? I don't know. Separating,
It's okay.
distinguishing the extremes from the middle way or something like that,
That's okay.
which is one of the 5 great books of Maitreya.
Okay.
Now, what was interesting when we learned this was that this was presented by Maitreya, but the book that we found it in said that that's not what the 10 great activities are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're the one who found it. So Sarah Jetson Chukyi Geltsen, in his commentary to the Jewel of Realization, says that the 10 great activities of practice are not what Maitreya said, but rather something else. What did he say they were?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
What's another famous group of 10?
Yeah, he disagrees those other 10.
Yeah. No, 10 boomies aren't a practice. Well, I guess like 9 of them. 10, well, I thought there were only 6 perfections, Stanley. Right. So he said that the actual 10 great activities or 10 practices are the 6 perfections, which are giving, ethics. And what does patience mean? Does it mean being patiently waiting for the bus? Don't get angry, right? Joyful effort, meditation, and wisdom. Yes. Okay, cool. Those are the 6, but Stanley said there's 4 more. 4 ways to attract students. Do you remember what they are?
Have hustle. Have hustle. Have hustle.
All right, Hasa, what are the 4?
The next one is being generous with them, giving them. That's what I meant, $100.
Oh, dang.
So explain. There are 6 perfections. Generally there are 6 perfections. Sometimes we add 4. And those are the 4 methods to bring the student, to get the student, to take care of the student. 4 methods. So sometimes we say 6 perfections. Sometimes we say 10. So the 4 extra ones, Juan's going to tell us. Number 1?
Yeah, number 1 is giving them material things.
Like money.
Like money. So he said to be generous, right?
Yeah.
So this is not $100, but it's close-ish, 72.
And by the way, the Geshe course is free. 25 years Geshe course is free. You don't have to pay. Nobody pays in the monastery. Okay, it's unbelievable. There are, 10,000 people. Nobody pays. How they pay for it? You send the one young monk to start a diamond business.
What's the second one?
Okay.
The second one is to praise them, telling them nice things about their good qualities to encourage them to keep going.
Exactly. He said praise them. Tell them lavishly support their good qualities.
The text says if they do something correct. You are so smart. You are so good. Number 3. You got $50 so far.
Encourage them to practice what they are learning.
He said encourage them to practice what they're learning.
Or being skillful on how they, just that.
That's good.
Cool. And what's the 4th one?
Don't let them learn without practicing. You have to demand. I taught you this, now I want to see you do it, you know. It's not enough to sit in the class. I want to see you do it.
Last one is, you yourself as a teacher have to be a good example and do what you teach them to do.
Very difficult.
Just for the recording, so Juan said, as a teacher, you have to practice what you preach, what you teach. Don't be a meditation hypocrite like me sometimes and teach meditation classes, but my meditation practice isn't happening, for example. So those are the four. Juan, can you give this to Juan, please? Oh,
Hey,
well,
that's not 100.
it's close.
Yeah,
All right, fine.
that's like 80.
All right, Juan, you got to take me out to dinner. Here's extra.
Hey.
Okay. All right, so. So what does Sarah Jetson Chuki Gelson, how does he justify saying, well, Lord Maitreya said this, but I think these are the 10? Does anyone remember what he says? Yep. He quotes some people. 2 famous people. The most famous of them all, Tsongkhapa, yes.
Okay.
And then he also quotes another famous commentator to the Jewel of Realizations. Haribhadra, Master Haribhadra.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I still have a question of, I don't know how he justifies why he thinks Lord Maitreya, the next coming Buddha, would not have said the correct 10, but that's an interesting question for another day.
Another day.
For another day. Okay. Here's some.
So after a homework question, we usually cover vocabulary. Okay. Some words from the ancient book.
So the first one is chu chu chu.
Chu chu chu.
Chu chu chu.
What's meaning?
What does that mean? Wants for $0 more.
The 10 Dharma practices.
Good.
Right. So
Right.
chu is 10
Yeah.
activities, and then Dharma practices, something like
Good.
that. Yep. Oops. Got it my face. Let's see here. Gelong Leichin.
Hlejin. HL, pronounce HLE. Hle.
Clay.
Yeah, hle. If you know the Sanskrit, it helps. What is hla in Sanskrit?
Deva.
Deva. And then jin,
Data.
datta. So together it's Deva datta.
But that's not what that meant in this case.
Well, no, it's not. Devadatta was the half brother of Buddha. Yeah, half brother. Yeah.
But that's not, in this case, it means something else. Fulano Ekis. Say it in English.
Hasa?
John Doe.
Yeah, good. Good. So, yeah, go ahead.
No, it's apparent. I just learned this myself. Is when you're just referring to any person, or any person who says something, and you don't know their name, or you just want to call them generally, you just call them Gelong Hlejin.
Yeah, in the ancient books, like in English, when you want to say somebody said that, but you don't know their name, you can say John or something like that. You pick the most common name. And in Sanskrit, the most common name is Devadatta. Not just the Buddha's brother, but many other people. Joe. I don't know, Mr. Chen. Okay, how many Mr. Chen in China? No, like that. It should be a most common name. In the ancient books, Devadatta. Okay. So it just means anybody. Yeah. Not really. No, it just means anybody. Yeah. Joe Schmo.
And the last word is Rangluk, which is important for our text today. Ours.
Our system.
Our system, our position. All right, cool.
In the ancient books, we often have debate. In the ancient books, we often have debate between two people. And one is representing Buddhism, and one is not. And this one means our side, our system, okay? They are learning vocabulary for 8 years, okay? I think it takes 20 years to become a translator. I think so. So, almost halfway.
All right. And this is where we are currently.
Yeah, okay.
So I did the next, you asked me to do the next line here, or line or so.
Yeah, can you read it?
I can do my best.
Okay.
All right. How do I make the cursor bigger so I can?
Complicated. Go to the Apple.
System settings.
System settings.
Mm-hmm.
Accessibility. And you'll find it in there somewhere.
Accessibility. Pointer control?
Go up, display.
Oh, display. That's why I couldn't find it.
And then it's down there somewhere. Yeah, you
Pointer
just click
size.
on the scale.
Okay, there we go. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Now you can see it. All right, cool.
Okay.
Duna nakseni naden chepa desena. Oh. Nakimpa. Rangiyimpa. Rangyutang Drelwa. Duma Nordwar Mepa. Saupor. Is this spelled correctly? Or is
Not
this...
spelled correctly.
Okay, it's
Yeah, it should be an R. You're correct.
Okay. Saupor Mepa Sheche Mi Rikpartal. Dopadechir.
Okay, good. His book, it was written 500 years ago, and it's debate style. Whole book, like 15,000 pages, is a debating style. So we are in the middle of the debate. So let me tell you what is the debate. Okay. This book, in the beginning, the big question is, what is Buddhism? What is Buddhism? Big question. What is Buddhism? Then if you find a book, how do you know it's Buddhism? How do you know? And then they give a definition. This is Buddhism. This is Buddhist book. Okay. And then somebody said, if what you say is in the mind of a Buddha, it's a Buddhist book. If what the book says is in the mind of a Buddha, then that's a Buddhist book. Okay? Not necessarily taught by Buddha, but in the mind of Buddha. Okay? Somebody said that. Now, somebody said, okay, then if something is the word of Joe Schmo, anybody, okay, if something is Tina's word, okay, should it be the words in Tina's mind? Okay, is it Tina's word? I don't know. It's in Tina's mind. Okay, then it must be Tina's word. Okay, got it? How do you know it's the Buddha's word? Oh, it has to be in the Buddha's mind. Okay, that's all. Okay, then that's Buddhism. That's Buddhism. If it's in the Buddha's mind, it's Buddhism. Okay? Okay. Then we say, okay, so if it's Stanley's word, it should be in Stanley's mind, according to you. The other guy said, if it's Buddha's word, it must be in the Buddha's mind. So we say, okay, if it's a Stanley's word, it must be in Stanley's mind, right? Okay? Then comes this next sentence. Dena means, yes, yes, that's correct. Yes, yes, that's correct. If it's Stanley's word, it should be in Stanley's mind. If it's Buddha's word, it should be in the Buddhist mind. We are trying to decide what is Buddhism. That's a good beginning of a book, you know. Or what are you studying? I'm studying Buddhism. What is Buddhism? I don't know. What's the definition of Buddhism? Oh, Buddhism is the word in the Buddhist mind. Okay? Somebody gives suggestion. All these suggestions are wrong, by the way. Okay? No, that's the system. So I think Buddhism is any word inside Buddhist mind. This is Buddhism. Somebody say it like that. Then we say, okay, so what is Stanley's word? Oh, any word he has in his mind is Stanley's word. Okay. What is Buddhism? It's the information in the Buddhist mind. What he spoke in his mind. Is it his words? No. It's what he's thinking. That's Buddhism. Okay. Buddhism is not Jinkanjing. Buddhism is Jinkanjing inside Buddhist mind. That's Buddhism. Okay. We are having a fight.
According to the other guy.
Okay. Okay. Then he said, is Jinkanjing Buddhism or not? What do you think? Yes or no? Is Jinkanjing Buddhism? It's the best Buddhism. Yeah, okay. Then I ask you why? Why it's Buddhism? You can say, she said, because Buddha spoke it. He said, because Buddha think it. Who's correct? Now this is we do this for 25 years. You know, what is Buddhism? That's the first big question. What is Buddhism? Oh, I want to study Buddhism. Okay, what is Buddhism? What's not Buddhism? Okay. Oh, Buddhism is the words in the Buddhist mind. Oh, it's not what the Buddha said, right? That's a question here. Which one is Buddhism? Okay. All right. Then he said, Buddhism is always the speech inside the Buddhist mind. Buddhism is always the speech inside the Buddhist mind. That's Buddhism. That's real Buddhism. Okay? Then we say, oh, so Stanley's speech is always Stanley's word inside his mind. Same thing. Right? Agree? Okay? Now you're in trouble. In the Geshe course, you are in trouble. Okay? I gave you a bad example and you agree. Okay? This is Geshe course. And we do for 25 years. Okay? That's why you cannot argue with Grandpa. Okay. I ask you again, is Stanley's speech the words in Stanley's mind? Yes or no? Okay. That's the question here. Okay. Then somebody say, yes, you're correct. Mm-hmm. Stanley's speech is the words in Stanley's mind. Buddhism is the words in the Buddhist mind. Okay? Got it? And it's wrong. Something wrong. Then we say, oh, okay. Now, in the ancient books, first teaching of Buddha is teaching to monks. Ethics. Don't hurt other people. Okay? The first teaching, ethics. Don't hurt other people. Okay? That's the first teaching of Buddha. Okay? And then he said, don't hurt with your body. Don't kill. Okay? Don't hurt with your talking. Don't lie. And don't hurt with your mind. I hate karma. I don't believe like that. Okay, so when the Buddha said 3 kinds of, we're going to learn it in the ethics class. There's 3 ways to have ethics: in your body, boom, in your speech, and in your mind. Okay, like that. Okay, 3 ways to make karma. 3 ways to make karma. So then he said, oh, then when they teach karma of talking, they say karma of talking should have 5 qualities. Definition of talking. Okay, definition of talking. We are talking about Stanley's speech, right? If the speech in Stanley's mind is Stanley's speech, then the ancient books say it should have 5 qualities. Speech should have 5 qualities. Okay? When we discuss bad karma, when we discuss talking bad karma, we say bad talking has 5 qualities. Okay? If one is missing, it's not speech. All speech, which is karma, should have 5 qualities. Okay. Now here's the qualities. Okay. Number 1. By the way, ngak senyi nga means speech with 5 qualities. Okay. 5 defining qualities. Okay.
5 define. Okay.
Yeah.
Attributes or 5
Yeah.
qualities. Okay, something like that. Okay.
And when we teach it, Chepe say, okay, when they teach, when Lord Buddha taught the 5 qualities of speech, by the way, remember, if one is missing, it is not speech. Okay? So if Buddhism is the speech of the Buddha, these 5 should fit. Okay? Number 1, Tim, ngak yimba.
It is speech.
Yeah, it should be speech. Okay? Did he make bad karma? Yes. What? He said bad thing. Did he talk? Yes. Yes. Number 1, he has to talk. Okay? If Buddhism is the speech of the Buddha, then it should have 5 qualities. Number 1, came from his mouth. Okay.
When we say nakir, are we talking about ka, or are we talking about just speech in general?
Any speech.
Any speech.
We're actually defining speech in the discussion of bad karma of speech. That's where you see the 5 qualities.
Okay.
Okay. If you say, and I have to go this long, we have to go this long. If you say that someone made bad karma, talking, there has to be 5 things there. If no 5, no talking. It's not bad karma of speech. Okay. This is the definition of speech. Okay. When we talk about karma. Okay. Number 1, what should be come from his mouth?
Yeah.
Number 1. Okay. Number 2.
Rangiyampa, it's one's own speech.
It should be his own. Okay. Listen. Here's a Stanley. Ready? I'm Stanley. Okay. Do you know that Seiji called Xiaoping stupid? Do you know Seiji called Xiaoping stupid? Is that Stanley's speech? No, it's not his. He's just telling what somebody else said. Did it come from Stanley's mouth? Yes. Is it his talk? No, he's telling you what Seiji said. Got it? Mm-hmm. So, for it to be speech of Buddha, number 1, should be speech. Number 2,
it's your own.
Should be his own. Should be his own. He's not telling you what somebody else said. Okay, got it? Should be his own speech. Okay, got it? Okay. For real karma, has to be. If I tell you, Seiji said, Xiaoping is stupid, do I make bad karma? No, it's not my speech. I'm just telling you what he said. Okay? So, but for me to make karma, it should be my speech. For it to be Buddhism, it has to be the speech of the Buddha. Buddhism is not anything that the Buddha said. Buddhism is the speech, his own speech. Buddha can say, some stupid people say emptiness means nothing. Buddha say, you ready? Buddha said, what? Buddha said, some stupid people say emptiness means nothing. Did Buddha make bad karma? No, it's not his speech. He's telling you what the other person said. Okay, got it? Should be speech, but should be his own speech. Okay, got it? Cool? Whoa. Number 3, Tim.
I'm not entirely certain, but something like it's related to and in one's own mind stream?
Yeah, it should be part of his mind.
Okay.
It should be connected to his mind.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, it should be connected to his mind. Okay. Is this cup connected to my body? Is it related to my body? Yeah, I'm holding it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's connection. Here. Yeah. Okay. Is it part of my body? No. Is it connected to my body? Yeah, it's connected. Okay. The speech should be connected to the person's mind. Should be connected to the person's mind. Okay. If I say connected to the person's mind, or I say in the person's mind, is it the same thing?
Nope.
This is in my hand, but it's not in Geshe-la. Right? Okay? So it should be connected to the person. There should be a connection to the person. Okay? To make karma. What you say should be connected to you, to your mind. Okay? That's the tricky one here. Okay. Number 4.
Dhammanovar mepa. The meaning of what is spoken is not mistaken?
They should not have made a mistake of speech.
Not a mistake of speech.
And I'll give you an example. So I go to the Japanese restaurant. Can I tell you a bad story? Yeah. Tina's like, yeah. So my teacher's nephew came to America. And I tried to teach him English. 2 years. Every night I teach him English, you know. And he cannot learn. He's not very great scholar, okay? He cannot learn. I thought, oh man. Then my teacher said, is he learning okay? I said, no, it's impossible. I cannot teach him, you know. Then he said, okay, then he has to go to get a job. At least let him make some money for the monastery. Okay? So we put him in a restaurant. He learned English in 6 weeks. Perfect. Because people say, go get the bag. Then he's like, he learned everything, like so fast, you know. Then he came back one day, and he was cooking in our kitchen. And he burned his hand. And he said, oh shit. Oh shit. How do you translate that? Very bad word. Very, very bad word. Then I'm shocked, you know. Geshe-la, you shouldn't say, oh shit. He said, why not? I said, do you know what is the meaning? Yes, I know English. What's the meaning? I burned my hand. Then I said, why do you think it means I burned my hand? When the cook in the restaurant burned his hand, he always say, oh shit. Now, actually, oh shit is big insult in American. Very bad word. When I teach you bad word, forget immediately. Okay? Cannot say ever in America. Okay? Now, did my friend make a karma or not? A bad word?
No.
No, he didn't understand it. He spoke it mistakenly. He spoke it mistaking the meaning. That's doing Norwar Mepa.
So the meaning of the speech is not mistaken? Is that
Yeah, he should not be using the wrong words for what he wants to say.
Okay, got it. Mm-hmm.
Got it? And it happens in foreign restaurants. You order the wrong thing. You say you want to show you know Japanese, and you order something and they bring a dead frog or something. You're like, no. Okay, so to make karma with your talking, the word should be what you want. Okay, my friend didn't make the karma of bad English word because he doesn't know the meaning. Okay, got it? Number 4. Number 5.
Sapor mepa.
Yeah, you ready? Listen. Sapor mepa.
Were the words clear?
Yeah, it must be clear. Oh shit. Don't go. Okay. Word must be clear. Is Buddhism the word of the Buddha? Okay? Is the word of the Buddha what the Buddha says? Okay? I'm sorry. Is Buddhism the speech in the Buddha's mind? Okay? Rang Gyuki Dubengak. The other guy wants that definition. Buddhism means the speech in the Buddha's mind. Okay, ready? So then we say, does it have the 5 qualities of speech? Is it speech? Okay? And then we give the 5 qualities. Number 1, was it speech? Yeah. Buddhism is Buddha's speech. Okay. Number 2, is it his own? Yeah, he didn't say, oh, Maitreya said that. He didn't say that. He said, I say that. When he was born, he took 3 steps. He said, I'm the greatest. The day he was born, he take 3 steps out of his mom. I'm the greatest. It's true. So that's his own speech. Number 3, is it connected to his mind? Is Buddhism always connected to the Buddhist mind? Is Buddhism in the Buddhist mind? Or is it connected to the Buddhist mind? Okay, now listen. The other guy used the verb dupa.
Dupa. Mm-hmm.
Included into the Buddhist mind. We said connected to his mind. In his mind or connected to his mind? Which one?
Connected.
Must be connected because speech is physical.
Not
Speech
mental.
is physical.
Okay.
It's breath and tongue. It's physical. Okay, speech is physical. Is it in the Buddhist mind? No. No, it's connected to the Buddhist mind. Buddha says, I think I'll teach you Jinkanjing. He think it, then he start to move the equipment. Okay, but the speech of Buddha is not in his mind. It's connected to his mind. Got it? He said in the Buddhist mind, dupa. The other guy said dupa. In the Buddhist mind. Incorporated into the Buddhist mind. But the definition of speech is connected to the mind because it's physical. It cannot be in the mind. Cool? Cool, man? Very beautiful. Do not call Buddhism what is in the Buddha. Don't call the word of the Buddha what is in the Buddhist mind. You cannot say that. It's what did he say. That's Buddhism. Okay? Is it in his mind? Yes. Is that Buddhism? No. And Buddhist teaching. Is it Buddhist teaching? If it's in the Buddhist mind, is it Buddhist teaching? No, he didn't say anything yet. When he talked, that's Buddhist teaching. Okay, got it? Cool. And that's important because Buddha, when the student was too stupid, many times Buddha said wrong thing. They say, many people ask me, can I take the lay person's vows for life? Yes. How many parts? 5 or 8? 5. One is don't drink alcohol. Then they say, Geshe-la, can I just keep 4? I don't want to take a 5 vow. I don't want to stop alcohol. My family enjoy wine and dinner, It's not I'm getting drunk, but we enjoy wine, Then I said, no, that's part of the vow, And there's 5 qualities of speech, and they have to be there. Okay, they have to be there. Okay, all right. Is Buddha's teaching the speech of the Buddha? Yeah, it is. Otherwise, it's not teaching. Otherwise, it's thinking of the Buddha. Okay? Buddha's teaching is what the Buddha said. Like Jing Kan Jing, Xin Jing. These are spoken. Buddha said them. Okay? Does it have to be in the Buddhist mind?
No.
No, it cannot be. It's physical. Mind is not physical. Where's your mind? Point to your mind. Point to your mind. Yes, you're a scientist. They are stupid. Oh. So I watch. I touch him here. Where did his mind go? It went here. Now listen. Before you left your home to come to Kyoto, you had food in the refrigerator, right? Yeah. Do you think it's spoiled yet? Then you go like this. When you go like this, your mind go to Shenzhen, Shanghai, check in the refrigerator. At that time, you are in the refrigerator. Okay, your mind is in the refrigerator. Mind has no limitation. Mind can go to the stars. Did the Indians land a satellite on the moon last month? Yes. Your mind went to the moon. Okay, got it? Okay. It's connected to you, but it's... All right.
We started 5 minutes late.
Anyway, it's a beautiful... by the way, then we don't say anything else, okay? Then we say, he says, Buddhism is in the Buddhist... Buddhism is in the Buddhist mind. Buddhism is in the Buddhist mind. Then we say, oh, does Buddha talk Buddhism? Did Buddha teach Buddhism? Of course Buddha taught Buddhism. What Buddha taught is Buddhism, yes or no? Jing Jing is Buddhism or not?
Yes.
Of course it's Buddhism. Is it in the Buddhist mind? No, it's physical. You can't put paper in the Buddhist mind, Okay, got it? Okay. All right, then.
So basically he's just saying...
Yeah, then he insists it's in the Buddhist mind. Then we say, then the definition of speech accepted by all Buddhists must be mistaken. Mm-hmm. Because it says connected to the mind. It doesn't say in the mind. Got it? Yeah. Okay? So we don't say, no, Buddhism's not in the Buddhist mind. We don't say that. We say, are you talking about Buddhism? Yes. Buddhist teaching? Yes. Jing Kan Jing Xin Jing? Yes. Is it in the Buddhist mind? Yes. Oh, is it connected to the Buddhist mind? No, it's in the Buddhist mind. Oh, so speech is mind. Speech is thinking. No, speech is okay. Okay, you need to use this to speak. Okay, is Buddhism the Buddha's speech? Yeah. Is it in the Buddha's mind? No, not the teachings. Not the teachings. Okay, the meaning is in his mind, but not the teachings. The teaching is physical. Okay, John Brady is saving Buddhist books. He's not saving anything in anybody's mind. Okay? Right? Cool? All right, okay. Are we out of time?
We have Xiaoping. Can we start? Want us to be exactly on time, or we start about 5?
We don't have to be exactly.
Okay, cool.
If you want to do some more, I'm happy.
Yeah, well, we started about 7 minutes late. Is that okay?
That's
Okay.
fine.
Cool.
So, do you want to choose one of these smart guys?
Sure.
Oh, I don't see any. No, okay. My wife says I shouldn't talk like that. I think if I don't talk like that, you won't recognize me.
So if I say that Geshe Michael said there's no one smart over there, I don't get bad karma. I don't know if that's the case. Anyway,
You guys can see it here. You have to raise it up a little.
yeah. How about Stanley?
Okay.
We're gonna start here, the Kachik. Yes, please. Ka. Cool.
Good. So one of the kinds of speech of the Buddha is called what? Jason Nawa.
Jesu Nawa.
What's it mean in English?
Like under the influence or under the power of, when they give them permission to do so.
Yeah, Jason Nawa means allowed, permission. By the way, in the secret teachings, there's 2 kinds of initiation. One is called permission. One is called empowerment. Not the same, okay? Permission means you can use the mantra. Empowerment means, you can do many things, okay?
Is it
so
the same
Jason Nawa means,
Same word?
yeah, Jenang. We call Jenang.
Jainang, okay.
It means permission. By the way, there's no empowerment for Vajrayogini. There's only a Jenang. There's no such thing as Vajrayogini empowerment. You need Chakrasambhara empowerment. Then you can take the Vajrayogini permission. Okay, like that. Okay, so Jenang means permission. Okay, Tim, what is permission speech of the Buddha?
If we look at the Heart Sutra, for example,
Good. Shinjing.
In the beginning, the Buddha goes into deep meditation, and then somebody else. Does anyone remember who speaks the Heart Sutra?
Yeah, Guanyin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the Buddha goes into deep meditation, and Avalokiteshvara Guanyin speaks it. But it's actually the Buddha speaking through Avalokiteshvara. Correct?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah. So there's... how many words in the Shinjing are spoken by Buddha?
2, 1,
2 words.
2 words.
Lexo,
Lexo,
lexo. Siddha, siddha. What's it mean?
Good.
Good. He only said 2 words in the Shinjing. Buddha only said 2 words in the Shinjing. He in his meditation, he forced the students to talk. They are like puppet. Oh. Shut up. He controlled both. Okay? He only says 2 words in the whole Heart Center. Oh, you guys so smart, so smart. Good job. He forced them to talk. Then he said, oh, good, good. How do you say it in Chinese? How. Oh, you guys very smart. Actually, they are puppet, They are talking, okay. Yeah, they are puppet in the Shinjing, okay. So, somebody said, Jason Nangwei, if the Buddha allow you to say something, or bless you to say something. I'm sorry, I don't think we should use that example. I think Jason Nangwa is, that's Chinki Lapika. I think we have to say permitted. Buddha said, okay, I'm going to give another example. Buddha said, you can add one thing to my sutra.
Yes.
You are permitted. You are allowed. You can always add one thing to my sutra. By the way, that means do not add anything else. Okay? Don't say that's Buddha's talk. It's not. Okay, but you have permission to add one thing to every sutra in the beginning. What is that? Evam maya shrutam. Say, evam maya
Maya
shrutam
Shruta.
in Sanskrit. Evam
Avam
maya
Maya
shrutam.
Shruta.
What does it mean? Yeah, here's what I heard. So they didn't have, Buddha didn't write anything. Buddha only talked. Then people learned what he said, and they had a meeting. After Buddha died, they had a meeting. And they say, what did you hear him say? Then he said, Evam maya shrutam. Here's what I heard. Here's what I heard. Each student said, wait, I remember we were in Kyoto. There was a nice building and a garden, and this is what Geshe-la said. Eva Maya Shrutam. Okay? It means here's what Geshe-la said. I remember. So Buddha gave permission. Every sutra, do not mess with my sutra. No added words. Don't cut any words. But
Eva Maya Shruta.
Eva Maya Shrutam. In the beginning, you can say, here's what I heard. This is what I heard. Okay, got it? Okay. Now, question for you. Question for you. Here's the debate in his book. Okay. If something is permitted or allowed addition to the sutra, okay? If it's permitted, if it's allowed addition to the sutra, is it the speech of the student or is it the speech of the Buddha? Okay, I'll say again. If Buddha give permission to add something at the beginning of the sutra, does that become Buddha's speech or is that the student's speech? What do you think? That's now. Kachik means the other guy say. Other guy say. He said, if it's a speech allowed to add to the sutra, allowed by Buddha, Dulje ngak yimbe kyak. It's the speech of the student. Now listen. In this book, first statement is always
Something's wrong.
wrong. Okay, it's always wrong. You have to learn. To start a fight, it's supposed to start a fight. Okay, the first statement should always start a fight. Somebody said what? $100. Tell me what they said.
Is that if something permitted by the Buddha in the sutra, it is the words of the student?
Yeah, good. It's a speech of the student. And the first statement in these books is supposed to start an argument. The first statement in these books is always mistaken. Okay? So now you have to think, why? Why mistaken? Okay, let's do one more sentence.
Okay. Ona, how about Rob?
Yeah.
Woi.
Woi. Yimbata.
But
Yimbata. Sarcastic. Yimbata. Oh. So I guess when Kungawa,
Ananda.
Ananda, close disciple of Buddha, Ananda, Mr. Happy, Mr. Happy. No, it means Mr. Happy, Ananda. Okay. So he said at the beginning of some sutras, he said, Eva Maya Shrutam. Eva Maya Shrutam. Okay. Are you telling me that's Ananda's talk? Yes or no? This is the style. It's a Geshe style. Are you telling me that's Ananda's talk? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is it Ananda's word?
Yes. No.
Okay, let's see. No, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Question. So, does this mean
In his mind.
In his mind.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. He mentioned if it's in Ananda's mind.
So when Ananda speaks that.
No, listen. Just before Ananda says, "This is what I heard," 1 second before that, he's in his mind. He says, "I think I'll say something." What? I think I'll say, "Here's what I heard." And we all do that. We all, just before we talk, we say, "Oh, I think I'll say something." What are you going to say? I think I'll say, "Here's what I heard." Now, is in his mind, just before he talk it, is that Buddha's word or not?
No.
Is it Ananda's word?
No.
Can you add it to the sutra?
No.
Oh, not permitted? Okay, let's keep going. You understand.
Kuki damcha te paganshi de Jesu nangwaka yin picture.
Yeah, it should be speech because you're correct. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Duna de chen could pakpa kang kunga
Way.
spelled
Smell
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
Kapoi.
Ka boy nakma yin partal.
Right.
Yin partal up.
Mayan Batal up. Yeah.
Kursange pakbe nak yin picture.
I know. No, it's not Ananda's speech. It's
It's
Buddha's
it's
speech.
Buddha's speech.
okay. That's what our guy said. It's not the speech of Ananda. It's the speech of the Buddha, which he's remembering. Okay. Last one. How do you know it's the speech of the Buddha? Sangeki ka.
Because the Buddha said it.
Ngak is we say speech we use for low language. Stanley said something.
It's the word of the Buddha.
It's ngak, we call it ngak, okay? But speech of Buddha, like president of the university, we use higher word. We use high word. We say ka. We never say Buddha's speech. We say Buddha's holy word. Xiaoping's holy word. Okay. We don't say speech of Xiaoping. If the person is very high, we always say ka. Ka means high word. Okay. It's disrespectful to say speech of Buddha. You have to say the high words of the Buddha. Okay, cool. All right, we'll take a break. Oh, so next homework, we're going to have the Rangluk. And I'd like you to do the first 2 sections here.
Right, sure.
Okay? Nipa Rangluk and Delayana.
Cool.
Cool? Yay, Tim.
Yay.
By the way, I chose 10 translators. And he's not one. And then he worked very, very hard. And then I said, okay, 11. I add him to the translator. Yeah. About 2 years ago? 2 years ago, yeah. He worked so hard. He worked really, really hard. Yep. Okay.
Excellent. Tim, we have you standing by.
I've been standing by all my life, Ben.
Thank you. Yeah, well, not anymore. Now you're the main event. You're not on standby. Thank you for being here for this. Thank you for the your hard work and your beautiful class. Will you guide us into a little bit of discussion? What do we do with this Tim.
Well, the cool thing is I've had about 12 hours since the class to think about it.
That's cheating.
It's a little cheating because most of the time we have less than 5 seconds, right? Um, is that an actual background or are you actually at the beach?
No, I'm actually at the beach. In
Oh
fact,
my.
this little spot right here, let's see, one of these, that one right there is the wife and the kid.
Nice.
Not bad.
Nice. Congratulations. I'm a little jealous.
Thanks.
Um, so there's a couple things that came up that I thought about that would be, I think, interesting for us to evaluate. First of all, um, at the very end of class, Geshe said, he added me as a translator because he worked really hard, and I appreciate that. But I also want to appreciate Gibson as well because I think he worked harder than me on it, to be quite honest. And he got added as well. So I think we need to give a shout out to Gibson as well.
Yeah, that's me.
So a couple things in this class, many of you may not know that this class we filmed it in Kyoto last night. And it was during one of the regularly scheduled classes for the Diamond Silk Entrepreneur University. So for many of the people sitting in that class, that was their first class. That was their first translation class ever. And in some ways, their first direct Buddhist philosophy class as well. They've been hearing the application of the philosophy in a business sense, for their MBA program, but they've never heard it direct from the text, right? And at one point, Geshe leaned over to me and he said, "We're going to go really slow today. Just relax." And I was like, "All right, cool." And what I wondered, first with everyone watching the class, what was your impression? Because we only went through basically 2 lines of text the entire class. Watching it from your point of view, what was your impression, and what did we learn about how do we teach to a new audience, right? It was a very deep class, of course, in many, many ways. But what kind of things did you notice or take away from the way that Geshe Michael taught the class, which was different than other classes, in my view? He actually even corrected me a few times. Like I would say something and then he would then re-say it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But what was your impression?
Host not allowing to
Rita,
unmute.
can you allow people to speak, please?
Yeah. Oh, please. Yeah, Lindsay's champing at the bit. I bet she'll have something good to say if we let her. I thought it was a hard class still, Tim. I mean,
It was. Oh, certainly was.
if I was a baby being introduced to my first philosophy class of that sort, it's still quite challenging. It's interesting to think that we can go slowly and we could not go very far. We could take any line in a great book, in the kind of book that we're studying. You could take a single line and maybe unpack it for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a couple of things that stood out were, one, he gave very specific examples and very plain examples. I don't think I would have caught some of the meaning unless he had done that personally. And then also he was just joking the whole time. It was a very fun class. Like always class is fun, but that one was particularly just silly. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, what was interesting is, as I was listening to him, his energy was really subdued as I was, but the jokes were coming through. And I felt like there was a amazing transmission happening. And actually, Ben, what you said is I don't think I would have understood the complexity of this one debate had we not spent, the repetition over and over and over again to understand what constitutes us, the words of a Buddha, or the speech or the holy words of a Buddha, and whether they're in your mind or whether they're also, is it something that's spoken, or is it in your mind, or is it both, or whose mind is it in? Like, when does it become Buddhism? And that's a really interesting question. What did you all think about that? Like, when and what does it mean to be Buddhism? Like what does it mean to, like, if something is the speech of the Buddha, like, what makes it holy speech, or what makes it Buddhism? Like, is it Buddhism when he's teaching business ethics, right? Is it, what makes for that? Like, what makes for a teaching? I guess the question is, like, what makes it a teaching? Or, as all of you will be teachers, or are teachers, Ina, which you're about to speak, like, what is it? How does it become a teaching?
Hi guys. I was thinking, actually I have two thoughts. Sorry, I'm at home, not in the youth. I was thinking, I had two thoughts. First, it is really cool when you can go slow. Like, we do once a week on Thursday class when maybe you don't know, guys, but for our region, we take a small piece of what you do previously in your classes, and then like 5 to 10 minutes, and then we review with subscribers, Good Night Club participants, and we try to make an application, like a real application, to think about real application of this class. And second thing, I was thinking about what makes you a Buddhist. I was thinking about refuge, right? Because the other idea about Buddhism is when you take refuge, and it's all about emptiness. And then I was stuck between emptiness that makes you a Buddhist, and taking refuge in basically emptiness, right? And from another side, what is Buddha's speech, So I think it will be interesting to explore it a little bit more. You see what I mean? Like, how you can come closer if you understand that everything that you hear is actually also coming from your seed, because everything is empty, right? So what does it mean to become an enlightened being in this case?
That's a good question, Ina. Like, if everything you hear is coming from seeds, which makes sense, what turns it into a teaching? Like, what seeds would you need to hear things as a teaching versus the sound of the air conditioner? Or could the sound of the air conditioner be a teaching of the Buddha as well? Is that what you're asking?
Something, yeah, exactly. Like some ultimate seed, right? To perceive emptiness, or to perceive the teachings, something like that.
How could you create the seed so that everything you heard would be ka?
I don't know. Maybe it is related to our nature. Okay, I let speak somebody else.
Someone want to add something in?
Actively watch and listen to the audience, observing your audience and listen to what question they ask, and most importantly is teach according to their understanding capacity. It does not speak everything that you know. It speak something that's meaningful and what they can understand.
I like that, Pei-Ling. Like maybe it has something to do with everything that comes out of your mouth. You try to make it as meaningful as possible. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So I have a transition here. One room over is Dr. Juan Hasso. Juan Hasso. Thank you, Flavia, for teaching me how to pronounce Juan's name. So Juan is over there, and he's going to be leading us. He's going to be giving us some Peachtree news.
Hello, everyone. Hello, team. It's good to see you. Long time no see.
I know. I'm hungry. Let's hurry up. I want to have breakfast.
All right, all right. So, yeah, as you know, we have the great fortune to be these days reporting from Kyoto. And before Tim goes away, I wanted to share with you a little bit of what he has been doing here. As you know, he produced a great event, 5-day event just last week. It just finished very successfully. Last time I was presenting the news, I showed you like a longer video of what happened, but this is just a short taste of the event that was produced here. We want to share it with you, and then later talk more about other news. Yes, thank you.
在那一刻，
What is this?
这个东西是什么？
No humans, no dogs.
没有人，没有狗，
What is it?
那个东西是什么？
You know, some people are so, they don't have that time. They don't have a life where they have time, where they have the resources to be able to practice. They don't have the economics. Like people, you know, I know people in my town who, you know, both parents work, they have 4 children, and they don't have the time.
所以我知道有些人
So, team, don't go yet. We want to thank you very much for this wonderful project. Everybody came. Did you like the program? Are you gonna come back? All right. We hope to see you next time. And for those of you who couldn't make it, we hope to see you in June. See you. Bye. So yeah, as you can see, it was very, very fun. We had a great time, and actually it's wonderful. I mean, I have personally had the chance to study these materials before, but doing through the content again, I don't know, it's always great. It's like you can never have too much fun out of something you enjoy, right? Like, it's like, oh, why you let's say you like, I don't know, whatever, playing soccer. So it's not because you did it once, you're not going to enjoy next time. Anyways, it was very wonderful. And we would like just to ask you, Tim, what was your personal impression about it? And what are you planning to do in June next time?
Okay, that's a good question, Juan. I think the most important thing that happened, Juan, is that having been teaching online for about 4 years now, I realized that the power of teaching in person and having a community of people practicing and learning together, there's something very, very different that happens. You know, we had about 12 people in the room. We had about 7 or 8 people online, and we got very close. It was much more intimate. We got to learn more about each other. And I think the teachings went a lot deeper in person because we were co-creating the whole thing, and we could debate whether you do that online or not. But I think there's a power to being in person, like to receive the teachings and to teach in person. And so that's what we're doing in Kyoto. We're going to be continuing to teach. In June, we need some help because we couldn't cancel the room, so the room holds 100 people, and we had to pay for it. So we need some help. We're going to be doing the second course, which is now that we've learned about seeds in general, seeds and emptiness, we're going to learn how to protect them. We're going to learn, now that you have an understanding, how do you protect those seeds? And that's going to be, and how do you protect them with emptiness, basically? So we're going to be doing this in Kyoto once again. We have live Chinese and Japanese translation. If you want to bring another language, let's talk about it for sure. But we have a room for 100 people, so we need some help to fill it up, Juan.
All right, we're working on it. And actually, I think people who attend this course, you can see, Tim, you can, how to say, testify I'm saying the truth. Sometimes I don't know how to say things in English, but I find a way. They were so excited. They want to come back. They're going to be inviting their friends. They had a great time. And it, as you say, because the fact that it was live, I really think may help to develop this bonding and like a friendship relationship kind of thing, which in my case, my personal experience, and many of you could share the same, I'm sure, it enhanced our study experience a lot. I think the community we develop through our studies sometimes is a key factor for our own success in our practice. Like for me, I started in Mexico, in Guadalajara, wonderful, wonderful community, wonderful friendship. And to me, that was like a super deep boost, having this community and friendship with my, Dharma friends. One of the best things I have get out of the study experience.
Thank you for coming, Juan. I very much appreciated you having you here. He's a great teacher. He taught meditation and he taught a few classes as well. So cool. Thanks for having me today, Juan.
Thank you very much. Actually, now we have another very cool and interesting interview. We have with us Earl in studio, and he's going to help us to present a cool project that's coming and a very special guest that we're having an interview today. Hi, Earl. How's it going?
Hey, buddy. Thanks, Juan.
How are you doing?
It's good. Super happy to share something that I'm really excited about.
Yes, tell us a little bit about it and help us to introduce our special guest.
I will. One of the things that Yoga Studies Institute does is we try to put the philosophy into action and to walk our talk once in a while, at least. And one of the programs that I feel really good about is something called Fast for Hunger. And what we do is around the world, people get together, meditate for a half hour of guided meditation. And the idea is that if you want, you can skip a meal that day and take that money and donate it to an organization that fights food scarcity. That's helping people that need food get food. And so it's just it's a once a month. It's very simple. It's a half hour, beautiful meditation. And then, it's a bunch of people donating small amounts of money to do something positive and tangible in the world. So it feels really good. And we have a very special guest this Wednesday that has been walking that talk for many, many years and has a very, I think, just an amazing program that she's been running in New Orleans. And she's a dear friend and student of Geshe Michael and great contributor to YSI. Her name is Laura. And I'm so happy you joined us, Laura. Thanks for showing up, and thanks for teaching on Wednesday.
Thank you for inviting me, Earl. Thank you, Juan. It's so sweet to be here. Thanks, y'all.
Very welcome, very welcome. So tell us, Laura, can you tell us a little bit of what you're doing in your lands and why is this upcoming Wednesday very relevant for the, the purpose of fast for hunger, accomplish this goal of sharing what we have with other people?
Sure. So, yeah, I'm involved with a small nonprofit here in New Orleans called Santosha Village. And we have two main projects, and they're both sort of asking this question of how we can create spaces of fulfillment and contentment, even for folks who are currently unhoused or who are housing insecure. And one of our main programs that's going on now 5 years is we have a converted school bus that we actually got in Arizona, interestingly enough. And we converted that school bus into sort of a mobile community center. And it started off just with meal service, and since then has expanded so that we can actually go straight to people for things like showers and laundry, rather than them having to get themselves somewhere. So the meditation this Wednesday, if you like, you can support Santosha Village as like the organization that you donate to if you do decide to fast. And I'll share a little bit about what I've learned personally about this whole process, about fasting, about being hungry, and about sharing with others to plant those seeds.
Okay, that's going to happen on Wednesday. So Wednesday, you're going to take people through this process of what has been your experience with the fasting, through this 30-minute meditation.
Yes, I'll share a little bit and then we'll do a practice together.
Okay. But so the program, it's a 1 hour total on Wednesday, or how long is going to be this time?
It's 30 minutes total.
Okay. And that includes a little explanation and the practice, the meditation.
Correct.
Okay. Very, very cool. I actually really like this idea. Thinking about what you're doing with the school bus. And it's interesting because sometimes, especially when I'm in Mexico, I was there like, let's say 2-3 weeks ago. I think about these things when I see homeless people in the street, like, oh, I wish there was like some organization who could help them. And I think exactly about what you say, like to provide them with showers, with meals, with a place to sleep or things like that. So I really connect with your cause. I think it's very, very beautiful. And I would really like to encourage people, if you can attend to this program on Wednesday, we can get to know more about it. We can participate by supporting Santosha Village this time, and also learning about the benefits of fasting. Personally, I like fasting time to time. I do this intermittent fasting, and I also have found very, very good health benefits, actually. So thank you very much. Is there anything else that you would like to mention before we go, in the sense of maybe next time that you bring I don't know, this idea to our minds, like I'm gonna be fasting, I'm gonna be doing this meditation, what could you recommend to people? Like basically, what kind of attitude will you recommend people to come to want to join on Wednesday? Or intention, motivation?
I think the way that YSI has framed this as a practice to build compassion is the best way to come. So it helps us do an austerity or a tapas with more joy, rather than in a way that just feels hard or like we're depriving ourselves. But if we use that motivation of compassion and connection to others and sweetness, then it can transform something from being challenging to being joyful. So that's what I would invite folks to do.
Well, thank you very much. We want to wish you the best with your project, and hopefully we can see you on Wednesday. And then we could sometime soon have you again, so you tell us how did it go, and then what's next from now. So you report a little bit of what's your plan maybe for the next few months, or the steps of the progress of the Santosha village.
I'd be honored. Thank you. And thank you, Earl. Thanks for inviting me.
So thank you, Earl. Thank you, Joanna. We wish you the best. And let's show the QR code just one more time so people could register or go to it. If you have the advertisement there, just, yeah, one more time for opportunity to get the QR code. Yes, and then, yeah, there is the website as well, Fast for Hunger. And remember, it's gonna be 8 a.m. New York time. I think that's what in Arizona time. I don't know. Anyone knows in the chat? 5 a.m. Arizona time. Cool. All right. Thank you very much. We will keep you posted later with more Kyoto and worldwide network news. Next class, back to you, Ben or Nick.
Sure, I'll take it. Thank you so much. Beautiful concept. Thank you, Laura. That's beautiful. Very inspiring.